Alright gang, well, out of a hole, probably about 5 inches down, I have that. Could it be? And my first impression is, it's too big to be a large scent. So I don't know, and I don't dare clean it off anymore out here in the field. But you know it, you will see it again. We got some rain coming, but we are going to keep going a little more. So, alright gang, hey, stay tuned. And of course, you know, I was actually ready about to give up on this area and move back to where I was and maybe possibly redo it. And then this happened. So, yeah, looks like we'll be gridding this out. Alright, gang. There it is again. Stay tuned. That's awfully thick, too, for a large scent, don't you think? Anyway, time will tell. Alright, gang. Hang in there. And we have a couple of buttons. Total of 7 to be exact. I know what you guys are thinking. What about that large scent? It's up there. But hey, guess what? You gotta stay tuned for the next episode. To be continued. It's a cliffhanger. Alright, gang. More to come. Alright, gang. Here we go. Now, this coin here is the large cent, the 1813 that we found the other week. Now, this one, that one is the 1835 that was just recently found in last week's episode. Now, when I find such coins like these, the very first thing that I try to do after they come out of oil, I will take them and slightly get the oil off. That's not rubbing, that's not watering, that's just damp cloth and maybe a light brushing. And hopefully it turns out like this. Now, if I can discern any kind of date from it, unfortunately this one I can, I check it against the Red Book. That book. Oh yes, you guys recognize that book. Anyway, it turns out the 1835 isn't really worth all that much. So, with that in mind, you make decisions. Whether I want to keep it, whether I'm going to sell it, whether I'm going to grade it, whether I'm going to pay to have somebody to professionally clean it, or if it's just going to stay in Riser's collection and collect dust. In this particular case, even though this is actually quite nice, you can actually see detail of the hair, detail around the ear. The date, I would imagine, after a light cleaning will come out clear. The stars are all there, except for on this side. I don't know if this is a worn area or if it's just covered with a couple hundred years worth of dirt. The Liberty looks good. The profile looks good. Unfortunately, if this wasn't 1835, this was probably one of the later ones, I would probably send it away. But because it is actually quite a nice coin. On the reverse, the 1 cent is actually quite worn. I can tell that without it being clean. It doesn't stand out crisp as the reverse side lettering. Actually, the half cent actually is probably better on the reverse side, which you'll see later on. So, my decision for this coin is, since it's going to stay in my collection, it's going to go in my curio cabinet, I'm probably just going to toothpick clean it. Now, I could go further, but if you go further, you can't go back. Later on, you'll see my half cent and how that came out. it actually came out spiffy. Better than I thought. But anyway, if you clean it too much and you take too much dirt off, you just come out like that. Unfortunately, this one I did as an example. This isn't water clean, this is actually toothpick clean. However, it's been overdone. You want to leave dirt on your coin. Basically what it does, it highlights the engravings. And on the back, I try to leave just a tad little bit more on the bottom just to see if I could show how it stands out a little bit. But like I said, don't over clean your coins, because once you over clean, you can't go back. And yeah, that's horrible. But anyway, this stays in my collection anyway, so it wasn't going anywhere. It's mine. Nobody can have it. Alright gang, well that is probably as clean as I want to let her be. Again, like I said, once you remove that dirt and you start getting a constant copper color, you will lose your detail. And since this is just going to stay in my collection anyway, that's how I want it. And that's how I like it. Because I want to be able to see the detail that unfortunately time had started to erase. But anyway, want to see the front? Here's the front. Anyway, she's in actually quite good shape for being in the ground for almost 200 years. But anyway, that's how I do mine. Alright gang, since we're doing a little bit of segment on coin cleaning and what to do, what not to do, etc., at least what I do and what I don't do, we have an example. And it's in this jar right now. And unfortunately, I do not have any footage of me finding this coin because the camera was set up here at the house for me to do other shooting in regards to the large set. But anyway, so here we have another example, and I sure wish I had this find on film because it was quite bizarre. I pounded a field for probably about 4 hours. Nothing. And I get perhaps maybe 10 feet away from the car and find this. So it just goes to show you just never ever know. But anyway, I'm going to open that up. I'm going to have that put you down for a little bit. And then I'll tune you back in and we'll take a look and we'll see what we got. That's what it looks like so far. That's the front. And we'll turn her over for you. And there is the back. Next step is going to be trying to identify, and then from there we will decide what to do. I was curious to see if it would match up to a half cent, and I say that there is a very, very good match. I left the quarter underneath of it for size. You can see it's just barely shallow of that quarter. Now, she's probably in the 1830s range, because prior to that, why, she was facing the other way, like the one next to it. So, yes, I kind of paged through the book. I didn't see really anything spectacular, except some of the misstrikes and that kind of thing, as far as booking it goes. But I do believe that this is going to remain mine. So now it's kind of up to me how I want to treat this coin. And what's probably going to happen is I'm going to leave it in oil for a little bit, give it a brushing, and take off the little excess dirt. I don't really think I'm going to be too concerned as far as what happens thereafter, because like I said, this is going to be mine. Anyway, gang, but hey, after I'm done with it, I'll give you a look at it. Stay tuned. All right, gang. Well, we just got the oil dabbed off, and gonna let her dry out. It looks like she is a 1828 half cent. Not really. I think this is actually the best half cent I have ever found, as far as condition, anyway. I mean, it's not spectacular, but at the same time, it's actually pretty good. But we'll give you a look at the other side. Backside's actually kind of almost drying, but yeah, after I finish my little treatment of it, hey, I'll show it to you again. All right, gang, hang in there.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.